Hey guys, this is my multimedia presentation over my field experience. One of the topics that we had to cover was teacher liability. In my field experience, I learned that teacher liability is the responsibilities of the teachers, and a lot of time that happens during duty. So any accidents that happen during duty, whether you're present or not, are your responsibility. So for instance, if one morning you're running late and you're not at duty and a kid breaks his arm, it's still your responsibility even though you weren't on campus. So, some consequences for teacher liability that some of the principals suggested was that if it was a minor incident, so maybe like a bloody nose or, a fight, but it didn't go too far, then it could be the first offense would be a written reprimand. But if this accident happened and it was because you are repeatedly late, so that would be like a reoccurring offense, the principal would probably suspend you without pay, and they would say that the reason for that is insubordination because they had talked to you several times about being on time for duty. Now, if this was something major, so a kid breaks his leg or, someone gets jumped by 3 or 4 people, something major happens. One principal had an instance where some students had climbed the roof while some teachers were supposed to be on duty. So if that child would have climbed the roof and then fell, that would have been a major accident. So the first offense would have been suspension without pay, and then if you again were repeatedly late and that's why you weren't there, then they could suspend you without pay. They could file an ethics report violation, and then also they would put you on the intensive growth plan. And the thing about the intensive growth plan is you only have 2 semesters to get better, and then if you don't improve, then they can submit your name to the board for fair dismissal. Now, when I mean first offense and reoccurring, that's if these accidents happen while you're not there. So, like if you were late. If you were there, then there would be some different consequences, but they told me that those consequences would be determined by the severity of the case. Now, for search and seizure, any search or seizure that happens on campus, you must have a probable cause. School property can be searched without any notice, so they do not have to give any notice to the students if they plan to search school property. That includes the lockers and the desk, and any personal items that are left in the lockers and the desk. And also, the school can bring in drug dogs to search the lockers and the desk. Now, if a body search must happen, then it needs to be the same sex. So the person searching the student needs to be of the same sex, and then there also needs to be a witness in the room of the same sex as well. Now, the search and seizure policies are in the handbook, so it is best to always follow those handbooks. Now, for contracts and fair dismissal, I was directed to the PPC site, so the Personnel Policy Committee website. Now, to access this website, you go to whichever school you're at, you go to the state required information area, and then you go to the school district personnel policies. I went there, and that the Personnel Policy Committee references many acts and many laws. I actually served on the PPC at Dermont, and when we were writing it, we put the acts and laws onto the main document for everyone to see. So, as an administrator, it is very important that you follow the Personnel Policy Committee if you are dealing with contracts or fair dismissal, that way that you have some proof to back you up. So, this is what I've learned in my field experience, and I can't wait to see what you guys learned as well.